Alright, so it's extremely windy out, so hopefully the audio won't be too bad. If it is, we'll try to redo it tomorrow or on another day when it's less windy. But we're out here working with Miss Cici. Good girl. We're going to go over a few basics. She's a great example of a dog that can be a bit overreactive. Been working with her before, and it's usually with moving objects. And so if it's a larger moving object, then that can also cause somebody's package got blown away. 24. Oh man, this got blown away pretty far. All right, hold on, we're gonna pause this real quick. All right, so we're back at 24 rapid hand drive. Blew from here all the way down there. So, oh, there we go, that works. There's actually weights. Yeah, that should do it. Perfect. All right, so working with Cici and her reactivity, usually with moving objects, whether it's bicycles or trucks, it seems, maybe running kids. And then sometimes with excitement, like seeing a pup and wanting to play and engage. So a couple different things that we can do to help tune that up. One is to work on her redirection options. And so the first redirection option is going to be her name. And to make sure that we practice and test that one successfully, we'll want to have the leash nice and loose. Cici. Yes, good girl. She's excited to come back. Good girl, saddle. Good. A little too excited, right? So I'm really trying to get her to calm down. Keep all four paws down. There we go. Good. All right. Then the next one will be leash pressure. Yes, good girl. Good, much better. Sit. Good. Sit. There you go. Good girl. All right. And both of these are going to be the two basic ones that we can use to get her attention back when she gets distracted. And the sooner that you can get it back, the more successful you'll be at it, right? So a big part of practicing is finding things that trigger her with enough of a heads up on your end, so that way you're ready to go and you know what you want to do, right? Because if you're trying to call her back with her name when she's already so far away chasing or barking towards something, same with the leash pressure, she's already ignoring the leash pressure, right? It's going to be a lot more difficult. At that point, what we'll need to rely on is desensitizing, getting her used to seeing those objects and being able to maintain her composure, or seeing those objects and then being able to redirect and maintain her focus back onto us. Okay. So we got a pup over there. Cici. Yes, good girl. Okay. We start off easy, right? Because it's a small pup. It's not running around. It's not barking, anything like that. Same with a bicycle, or same with a van. Start with something that's hopefully not moving, right? Let her get used to seeing it and redirecting back to you. And then work towards things that are moving, but maybe work at them from a distance, right? So it's a little bit less exciting. Leash pressure. Yes, good girl. You want to be well aware too of what you're practicing with her. Good girl. Right? You can see, because I didn't give her the treat right away when she was excited and jumping up and down, she's starting to acclimate to that and adjusting herself, coming back and sitting down a little bit more calmly for the reward. pretty quiet day out in the neighborhood right now. But that's a good opportunity to just practice the redirection part, right? When it's nice and calm, so it's not too difficult. She can get the repetitions in that's necessary to build a good habit. And then we'll go out to a place where you'll find more opportunities to actually redirect her focus or practice desensitizing, like a busy trail on a nice weekend may have a lot more runners and bikers, right? Or the bus station or a delivery shop have a lot more trucks coming in and out. Yeah. That way you'll be able to have more opportunities to practice as opposed to just trying to wait for them. And here you see the movement of the bird there. Good girl. Was enough to get her kind of start charging. So the next bird that we see, we can also practice with that as well. Get her to refocus and maintain focus early so she's not off running away and we're trying to get her attention back. You can practice that part as well, and you might have to while you're practicing everything else because she may fail, of course. But it's a better idea to get her to not run in the first place and be preemptive with the commands and be paying enough attention to the surroundings that you're able to get to her early rather than too late. So what we're going to try to do is just go up here to the roundabout and see if we can get any a little bit busier traffic areas. See any other pups. It is around a little after lunchtime, so they might be walking them for lunch. In the meantime, we don't want to burn up all the treats practicing on the way there, but it's a good habit to kind of get her warmed up while it's nice and quiet. Yes, good girl. Oh, yes, good. Good. See how she's popping up. We'll just wait. And when all four paws are on the ground, there you go. Now we release. All right, so she has to calm down. She has to give up and settle in a little bit before she gets her reward. It's also kind of helping her practice control her excitement too, right? So you got a pup coming up, so that'll be good. Actually got two. And he's got a bad arm, so what I'm going to do to make it easier on the other handler in case his dogs overreact is build some space early. Got a car coming, so we're going to try to cross real quick. And we're going to pay close attention to her. Alright, so what I'm doing is looking for when she gets too focused or when she starts to get too excited when she sees the other dogs. And then I'm going to practice redirecting her. I got to wait here because if we keep walking, we're going to miss them because they're going to be tucked in behind those cars. Cici. Yes, good girl. You can hear her start to cry when she was looking at them. We get her to refocus back onto us. Sit. She's super excited. Good girl. Sit. Good. Cici. Good. And again. Yes. Wait. Good. Now I want her to see the other dogs and then redirect again. Now she's maintaining focus. Good. Now she sees the other dogs. Now she's refocusing on her own. Good. She's still very excited from seeing the pups. Sit. So you can see, even though we've redirected her, all that excitement that built up in that short amount of time, and why it was important to redirect her early, right? Because that excitement builds up and it just causes her to lose her composure and shoot forward and bark and all that stuff, even though it's just excitement, right? Good girl. Good girl. All right. So that's a good example. You would do the same thing as soon as you saw a bicycle or a big truck. So that was a good example. Go ahead and mark. All right, and we'll see what else we can find while we're out and about. Good girl. So there's a bird over there. Let's see if Cici notices it. Good girl. And that time it takes for her to see something and then build that excitement can get longer as soon as you build her desensitization to it. You know, her getting used to seeing them and not overreacting. It'll naturally get a longer time, so you'll have more time to react and to redirect. But you can see how short it was because she saw them. As soon as she started to focus, she started to cry. And if we didn't redirect any sooner, she would have definitely started running off and overreacting. So a big part of it is helping her out early when it's easier for her to control herself, and then build from there. Got to a good point, but it can backslide a little bit if, you know, we're out of practice or just haven't, you know, had any situations come up in a long time, right? There's something probably that's natural for her, but she needs to be well conditioned in practice for a totally new type of behavior to come into play, or harsher punishments, because that usually reprograms pups a lot faster. Generally not ideal, but effective. During the course of working with her, we're going to start off with just these basics and really developing them to a high degree before, while getting her used to things that are making her overly excited. And then after we've developed that to a good point as far as we can, then we can add in more consequences or harsher consequences, so that way she's already practiced, we've already set her up for success, she knows what she should do, we've given her plenty of situations in which case she can get used to it and know what to do, and then we give her that negative side to help still hopefully convince her to follow through with what she should be doing, right? We just got a gentleman here, no pups or anything. See what she does. He's not moving quickly or anything either, but he is wearing a big jacket. Good girl. Yeah, she doesn't seem to mind at all. She just noticed there. big SUV coming by. So that's not enough to trigger her. Right? So subtle differences sometimes in size of the vehicle and the sound, right? If it's making a lot more sound because it's rattling or the exhaust, or if it's a bigger vehicle and it's harder to ignore, be more likely to trigger her. Here's a bird, that'll be good. All right, we'll see if she notices the bird. We'll practice the same thing. Cici? Yes, good girl. And that car is rubbing it up. Good girl, that's it. Very good, good. Good. So I'll show you what'll happen if I don't redirect her early. Yes, good girl. Still a little bit off of the leash pressure she redirected, so that's good. But you can see why it's so important to help her out early, especially at first when she needs a little bit more reconditioning or some more practicing or some more tune-ups, right? Just so that way she builds that habit and she's able to refocus, because if we try to redirect her too late and she's not focused on us, then she's not focused enough to pick up on the idea of the practice of the exercise itself, right? She's too involved in the bicycle, she's too involved in the bird, she's too involved in the dog or the other cars. Alright, so we got another pup coming up there on the other side. She just now started noticing, good girl, and so she's now conditioned a little bit to redirecting when she sees another dog from the first time. Good girl, for a treat. Sit. Okay. Hi, how you doing? Good. You got a little cry there and she came back. Good. Hi. See if she drifts back to the other dog. Oh, look. Good. And then back to me. Good. Much better. So able to remain composed. Able to redirect her attention back. Good girl. And we just do that same thing with bicycles and big cars. Good girl. Very good. So that time I waited a little bit to see if she would do it on her own and then just reward her. Good girl. Having a longer leash or having it on the collar doesn't matter so much, because you would just have to be able to either stop the collar so you can initiate the leash pressure like we do when we pull back on here, or just make sure you call her name earlier. Like right here, when I call her name Cici, there's no leash pressure, so it could be coming from her harness or her collar or anywhere really. Oh, she did pretty good though. I'm gonna go ahead and pause again and see if we can get any more good practice in. Girl. So we got those two pups back again, as well as another dog all the way down there. Yes, good girl. This way. Up here. Good. So having her focus her eyes on me instead of the treat. She's still really excited though. She's about to pass them, so I'm gonna give her a second here. Sit. Good girl. I'm gonna wait for her to redirect her focus from them back to me. Good. Yes, very good. Perfect. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for her to look at whatever's getting her excited and look right back to me. Very good. Yes. And didn't overreact, didn't start crying, didn't start pulling. Good girl.